I'm not able to dedicate completely to my work. So, Bhanu, there are two reasons probably you're not able to dedicate yourself completely to your work. First, you are not enjoying the work. Maybe you don't like what you're doing. And second, maybe there is so much emotional baggage that you're carrying that is kind of creating a lot of destruction and a lot of deviation in your space. So just check which one is. Well, if it's the first one that you're not enjoying your work or you don't like what you're doing and you're doing it jabardasti, then my suggestion is one thing, okay? First, have a relook at what you're doing. And if it is not something that you like, then start looking for something on the side that you really like doing. And start building that work so that you start enjoying. Like for me, I thoroughly enjoy, like when I was just doing the medical practice, I wasn't really happy with it because it wasn't giving me that feeling of really truly going deeper and helping somebody. But now that I'm actually working on people's thoughts and emotions and actually helping them overcome their life challenges, it makes me feel so fulfilled and so happy. So for me, being in a medical practice was just a profession. But what I'm doing right now is my passion and my profession. So what is it that you would like to do? And you will not get, first thing you need to understand that if you want to understand what you're passionate about, the first thing that you need to understand is what is it that you will never get bored of doing. If someone wakes you in the middle of the night also, you would love doing it. And second thing is, what is it that you are ready to suffer for? Like what is it that thing that if you are ready to give your blood, sweat, tears, you are ready to give up on a lot of things to pursue this particular thing. So identify your passion like that. And passion doesn't mean that you're something that you'll enjoy. Passion means something that you're ready to suffer for. This word comes from Jesus Christ and his entire journey, that he suffered while he was establishing certain things. So what are you ready to suffer for? So you got to ask yourself these questions. That's the first thing, okay? The second thing about your work, if you're not enjoying, I want to give you a different perspective. Now, whatever the work that you want to do or whatever the thing that makes you feel passionate or you feel good about, think about this boring work that you are in, that this particular work is going to supply you money so that you can fund this work. Listen to me full again, okay? Just this work that is super boring is giving you enough money so that from this money you can fund this passion that you really like. And every single month when you are getting that money, I want you to write a small check and put it in an account, and maybe that account you can name as my dream. You should have a separate account that funds your dream. And the moment you start putting that money in your dreams account, this same boring work will give you the power, fuel, and happiness that you are doing something about creating a different life. So work on these few things that will help you. That's the first part of it, that if you are not enjoying the work, then you need to work on passion area and you need to understand a different perspective, throw a different perspective on the boring work that you may be doing. But if you are in a case of, if you are not enjoying your work because you already have a lot of emotional baggage, or if you feel distracted because of a lot of things going on in your space, then my suggestion is go deeper with it, because that's a more critical aspect. The first one is probably that you don't have the clarity that can be achieved by doing certain things. But the second part of it, if there is an emotional imbalance happening, if there is an emotional turmoil going on inside, then what's going to happen in your space is you're not going to feel good at anything. It's not just the work, but you're not going to feel good at anything. So indicator, Bhanu, could be checking on, are you happy in your relationships? Because sometimes it's not the work. Sometimes it's the relationships that drain you. How will you check that? Are you someone who's doing more than what you're receiving? Are you constantly feeling that people are taking you for granted? Are you constantly feeling that people are using you? Are you constantly feeling that you're not all happy in that space? It could be a personal relationship, it could be a work environment, work relationship, it could be a social relationship. Most often in our lives, human beings negate this big factor that we ignore a lot of our feelings when they come from our relationships. And these relationships not necessarily have to be your current relationships. They could be your past relationships. They could be a relationship with your father, your mother, your some relative, some family member, your spouse, your children. If you're not going to be happy in your personal relationships or your work relationships, it's a big reason that you will not be able to focus on your work completely, because you are not going to be at peace with yourself. Now, when I say that you're not going to be at peace with yourself, most importantly, yes, those relationships you're not happy with. But second part of it, why are you in those relationships? What is it inside that is going on? Maybe those relationships, you are in those relationships because you don't have a choice, because they are your blood relatives, or whatever the reasons. But you have not come to terms with those reasons. There must be solid reasons for you to be in those relationships. And every time you are in those relationships, you are feeling terrible about yourself. You're not liking yourself. And when you don't like yourself, a lot of your emotions are going to get triggered. And what I want you to understand is, I want you to take a hard look at your life. Apart from the work area, look at your other areas and see what are the other areas of your life that are draining you. What is that emotional turmoil going on inside you? Because that could be the cause of your imbalance in your space, and that's causing you not being able to focus on the work or be completely dedicated to the work. And thank you so much for that wonderful question, Banu, because I'm sure a lot of questions are answered in that one question itself. So thank you very much.